But in some of your content, you discuss SIBO. And so we're kind of, at least myself, I'm kind of like crazy anal about my diet recently. Can you explain what SIBO is and like just a brief synopsis of your experience with it?
Yeah. So SIBO is small intestinal bacteria overgrowth. It's a relatively new type of sickness, if you would, that they're learning about. The Cedars-Sinai Institute in LA actually is the most up-to-date on this subject. Dr. Mark Pimental wrote a book called An IBS Solution. So
IBS is irritable bowel syndrome. It just means like your stomach's always turbulent.
So there's like this crazy stat that 1 in 5 people in the world have IBS, and a lot of that could be due to the American diet is terrible. It's awful for you. Refined carbs are terrible. There's a lot of stuff know that's terrible, but it's delicious and it's part of our world. So you get IBS, right? And IBS is like for some it's pretty easy to manage, but based on these studies by the Cedars-Sinai Institute, it was something like 40 to 60% of people with severe IBS actually have SIBO. So SIBO is when by literature, you get too much bacteria inside of your small intestine, and then it proliferates there, and your body can't get rid of it.
You had a terrible experience with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I dropped $13,000 trying to figure this stuff out. I mean, like it was funny for a while, right? Like I'm a guy like farting, right? It's a funny thing, like haha. Yeah. But it was only funny for so long. It got to the point when it got for like 9 to 10 months. Like health never really felt terrible, but like you could smell me from a mile away, no matter what I ate, no matter how much I ran, no matter anything. And I couldn't figure out what it was. I tried every pill. I tried every short-term solution. Nothing freaking worked.
You didn't clean up your diet? Didn't change anything?
I did everything. No, I was eating the kale, the ginger,
Bland diet?
I was taking away all the low food map diet. I did that for a while. I did the SCD, the specific carbohydrate diet, for a while.
So you were testing a bunch of stuff. And when did you realize it was SIBO?
Well, I had a SIBO test once, and it was negative. So that put me in a bad space. It's a 3-hour lactulose breath test. I did it where you have to make sure you get tested for both methane and hydrogen. So when your body produces methane and hydrogen over something like 8 ppms, that's the gold standard that you have SIBO. So eventually I got retested for SIBO after I'd gotten a colonoscopy, an endoscopy.
Oh, geez.
Oh, yeah, I got done up. Yeah. Never going. I got every test. I almost was about to get a chest X-ray. I had 2, what are those called? Ultrasounds on my liver.
Dude, this isn't funny at all.
They found like gallbladder polyps and stuff, so gallbladder stones. So I was at one point went to a surgeon about to get my gallbladder out, which is a relatively normal procedure. But that was something. I mean, I tried everything, and then eventually I took another test and they found out it was SIBO.
Okay, and so what were your symptoms? Like you were just farting a lot and like your stomach was just always turbulent?
Yeah, so I got to a point where like I call it D-Day, where like I just felt like my whole shit went down and it triggered a lot of really bad health things for me. I had recently, just an FYI, I'd recently gotten LASIK eye surgery, which is a very safe procedure. It's very like relatively, 99.99% success rate. I didn't know I was about to be the 0.01%. Absolute nightmare situation. But basically my body was in such chronic inflammation that everything just dropped. My healing of my eyes actually went back in reverse, and my corneal nerves never healed. And I was having insane lights, insane glare from the sun. Like lights were so bright. My stomach was on an all-time new, migraines off the ass. I couldn't go to work. I couldn't do anything. I was in my room. I've never been.
How long ago is this?
Like 8 months ago.
Oh, word.
Yeah, it's just new. I never been depressed in my life. Like I've never been clinically seriously depressed. Like I'm a happy person, and I was losing my shit. Like from my body was just dying. So eventually I ended up figuring it all out. Like a lot of the other side effects I had.
All the research on your own.
Yeah. Another side effect is like, constipation, gas, bloating, like stomach aches.
You were just a mess.
Hashimoto's disease, which is where your thyroid starts acting up. So a lot of these autoimmune issues are actually, there's always something called a root cause, and like figuring out what the root cause is. So your body can spiral into so much shitty things when your stomach's fucked, right? If your stomach's fucked, that's literally what everything goes through. Like your gut is
your microbiome, that health.
You know, you hear things like leaky gut, and you hear things like just a lot of different ways that, you know, people want to heal their gut. So eventually I finally got tested for SIBO, and then there's a couple of different things. You can get a simple pill called rifaximin. Rifaximin in clinical studies is 40% effective. It helps a lot of people. 40% of the time they won't have a reoccurrence of SIBO. And then there's something more intense called an elemental diet. And I am a huge proponent of the elemental diet. If you guys want to learn about SIBO, I did a whole YouTube series on this. So like everything I've learned, everything I went through and what worked. The elemental diet is a pre-digested formula that was originally created for astronauts.
So what do you eat?
It's kind of like a protein shake of sorts, but it's like got all just the basic things you need to essentially survive. And you just drink this shake for 2 weeks every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I did that, and I started weaning on. And for the first time in my life, I was just having normal bowel movements, you know, pooping normally, which, you know, it's a funny conversation, but it was
first time in your life.
First time since shit got real. You know,
I didn't know if this happened your whole life. I was like, how would this be positive?
No, dude, 25 years, I was a beast, dude. Just no health problems. Like karma just caught up, right? I had no issues. I never broke a bone in my body.
It's because all that lionfish, bro.
But yeah, dude, SIBO's no joke. The elemental diet's a big deal. Like if you're having stomach issues, I highly recommend doing it. The Physician's Elemental Diet by Integrative Therapeutics. I don't get paid by them. It's expensive, but it works, tastes great in my opinion, and it's gonna heal you.